Let's play Where Does the Random Spring Live? Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we are looking at a Sony HF100 SL-HF100, and this one's been sent in by Tony for a repair and just to go through it. Isn't working quite as it should, and when you took the top cover off, there was a random spring floating about. It was quite dusty. He's dusted quite a bit of it off, and you can see the clock display is at very dim as well, which is very common with these machines. Not much you can do. They just basically burn out really quickly. The other thing as well, I don't know whether you can hear that. It is there. The power supply is whistling slightly, so it's a pretty good sign that those caps in the primary side of the power supply are not behaving, getting a bit leaky. So where do you think this spring has come from? I've got a fair idea, having seen it sort of in the flesh. Tony did send me a picture of the spring, and I was thinking, oh, I don't know, it might have come from a cassette, to be fair, but no, it is actually from this machine. So for a dare, go on, pause the video, put a comment in, let me know, where do you think that spring's from? So let's crack on and give it a test. Okay, so let's give it a test. These don't have the instant on of the F30. So the deck sounds pretty good, to be fair. Loaded nice and quickly. Yeah, so this is not great. We've also got a problem with the door. It looks like tabs have dropped off as well. But yeah, not great. I can track it in. So yeah, it's actually not too bad, but obviously we have this spring to put back where it should go, and I have a fair idea I know where that is. So yeah, let's press eject and see if I'm right. Sounds really good. Except for that power supply. I don't know if you can hear that singing from the power supply. Yeah. So there's no spring. It's just no spring at all. So let's pop this in. And this has the modified spring, which is partly why I was a little bit thrown, because there is a modification spring to when the pinch roller is replaced from the older type to the newer type. So these are the two different types of pinch roller that Betamax machines, Sony Betamax machines use. This is the older type for the 711 DEX and CX and whatever, and this is the newer type. And what Sony did is they discontinued this type and provided this type as a kit. When I say a kit, it's basically this and then a different spring. It's a bit taller, and yeah, it's just that little bit different from the original spring, and they're not interchangeable without that spring. You need to have that. So yeah, but I seem to remember on decks that use this newer pinch roller, like from new, they don't use the same spring, and I think that's what slightly threw me when Tony sent the image of the spring. It's just like, oh, that doesn't look right. Especially I've just been working on an F30, so yeah, let's put that on. And put the clip on the top and we should be good. So there we go. Let's try a cassette again. I mean, this is going to need a full service. But that, well, that's immediately so much better. Oh, there we go. So it's sort of, so it's furthest right, furthest left. Magic, that's fixed. Hi-Fi stereo. It's a hi-fi stereo cassette. So yeah, that's really good. So we need to do the power supply. Not much we can do for the display. I might have a go at sorting out the cassette door as well. And we'll have a look at the upper drum, give it a clean and a service, and we should be good. And so the fun begins. Yeah, so it's playing back, but I have no picture. If I press pause, I get a picture. Press play. It plays for a bit, and then it disappears. Joy. And that is going to be electronics. So we have quite a quest against us now. Oh, why HF100 is such a pain in the neck. Yeah, so let's crack on. Okay, so before I do anything else, I think I'm going to clean off this glue off the Hall effect. It's not terrible. It actually looks worse on the camera. But yeah, we'll get that cleaned up and crack on. I won't show cleaning it up, but I will do a dedicated video on how I do it, so keep an eye out for that. So that's all done. It's pretty clean, and hopefully we won't have any problems, so yeah, let's crack on. Just reinforced all the sockets as well, video in, out, and the audio out. I'm not going to bother too much about the audio in because they actually are okay, and they don't get the same amount of use, so that's cool. Yeah, let's crack on. Okay, so I've changed a few capacitors in the power supply. To be fair, I think only the bipolar ones really needed doing. So yeah, but I've done them anyway. I've done the 4.7 350 volt, so 4.7 microfarad 350 volt ones as well, and there's one on the 12 volt rail as well, which was a little bit odd when I tested it, but I think, to be fair, it would have been okay, but it was being cooked by a component right by it. It actually had a burn mark on it, or what looked like a burn mark. I think I might have wiped it off now. Oh no, you can see it. It was being well and truly cooked. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to change it because it's been thermally compromised, even though it's a 105 degree. 105 degrees in there as well. So let's power it on and just see if A, it works, and B, if we got rid of that squeal. So here goes. No squeal. Brilliant. That's really good. So literally, I mean, with these, it is those bipolar capacitors, 47 microfarad, the 10 volt that were fitted. I always fit 16 volts, a little bit of overhead. Doesn't make much difference on the ESR, so that's fine. Yeah, that's really good. Got a whisk of brush there. So let's have a look at this pinch roller. So I do think that this pinch roller is actually bad. I can't really get much run on it or with it, but it's easier to try that when it's actually out of the deck. So let's just give it a go. So that is not great. This one, however, does run on much better. Does it? I mean, play-wise, there's not that much play in it. Oh, this one's much tighter. So there is a bit more play in that one, I would suggest. So let's pop this on. There we go. Oh. There we go. So just push it on and push fairly hard, and it'll seat the wash of the clip. So I think we will give it a try. I did have a look. Forgive me if I'm duplicating myself as I'm going through this, because I've done this over several days, doing lots of other machines at the moment as well. But none of this has been touched. And the reason that's sort of a bit important is that I think I'm losing control pulses. I've not checked yet. I just thought, let's just check that pinch roller, because it didn't seem very good when it was in the deck. And that's a likely culprit. And I've not cleaned the head, but the head does look pretty clean. In fact, the whole deck looks pretty clean. So I just think, well, let's swap it out. I mean, pinch roller's seen a fair bit of... I mean, the rubber's quite... Oh, the rubber is solid. Gosh, that is absolutely solid. Well, you see... Well, I don't know what you can see. My nails just sort of... I can't press into that, and it's left a small mark where I've tried to. Wow, that's rock solid. So yeah, that has to go. This one is all nice and rubbery still. So yeah, let's give it a try and see if that's fixed it. Okay, so let's power it on. Find out if that Hall effect cleaning did the trick. Yes, it did. Okay, so we're looking good. I'm going to just turn the audio off because, yeah, that is actually looking fine now. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to leave this run now, and we do actually have a problem with the remote control as well, but I'm not going to get time to look at that, unfortunately. So what I might do is do a quick update video at some point, just to let you know what the performance was like in the end, and give it a bit of a clean up. And just check that display, but I doubt we'll be able to do anything with it. But yeah, so far so good. That's looking really great. So like I say, I've been working on quite a few other machines. We've got the Panasonic MV V8000, which I'm working on. I've got SL-HF100. I now have one, and I am over the moon. And thank you very much, Aaron. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But we've got the remotes to sort out, so we've got 3. And talking with Aaron, we're going to get 2 going. And the one that's really rotten, I just don't think that's going to be worth saving. But we might give it a go in the future. But I'm going to use the parts from that one anyway, or the LCD to get one of the other ones going. But we'll cover all that. We've got HF950. You've probably spotted over the last few weeks I've had one upside down for ages, and I've just not got around to finishing it yet, so that's going to be done. We've got the C6, Sony C6 with the heads, part 2 on that one, and we've got loads more. We've got some DV VHS decks to come, got some Chromebooks, Lenovo Chromebooks. We might even have a look at a DV cam machine. And we've got Betacam machine to come, all sorts. So yes, be great if you'd give this a like and subscribe as well. It really does mean so much to me, and I don't do a huge amount of uploads, but you know, it really is appreciated. So yes, with that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye for now.